This bill fails to address the growing financial crisis that our mom and pop small landlords are enduring, because in reality, the vast majority are not getting reimbursed for the months of rent they are due. Since 2020, my focus has been trying to help the mom and pop landlords that are struggling to make ends meet. I'm talking about the average, everyday folk that we see on Main Street. Mom and pop landlords are our family, friends, and our neighbors. Many of us, probably all of us, serving in this chamber, know someone that has a small rental property that was supposed to help supplement their income or assist in paying for their retirement. Mom and pop small landlords won't get rich off of their rental property by any means, but it's their proud piece of the American dream. And sadly, their American dream has become an American nightmare, a nightmare of no money coming in and expenses still having to get paid, a nightmare of never-ending succession of state and federal government kicking the can down the road, and a nightmare of the very program that was supposed to be helpful instead is hurting them. Our mom and pop landlords are small businesses. They carry heavy mortgages, utilities, maintenance, and upkeep, as well as long-term debt. They have families, children, college funds, car payments, and health insurance costs as well. In short, they have all of the expenses that we all have, plus the cost of their properties. And they have faced 18 months of financial devastation because of misguided state and federal eviction policies and misfiring, malfunctioning programs that were supposed to help but aren't. I have numerous mom and pop small landlord businesses throughout my 43rd Senate District. I've continually heard from them throughout the pandemic. Many haven't received a single payment for 18 months. 18 months, and some of them even more. It's unfair, it's wrong, and it's unconscionable. Imagine if you went without your paycheck for 18 months. How would you feel? What would you do? I can tell you how mom and pop landlords are feeling because I've actually listened to them. Mom and pop landlords feel desperate, ignored, taken advantage of, and scapegoated. They're frustrated and disappointed, and rightfully so. The Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP's, unrealistic, unworkable requirements made a bad situation even worse for these mom and pop small landlords who are struggling financially because of the unintended consequences of this program. There are more problems with the landlord ever receiving all of the money due to them than we ever even originally thought. First, cooperation is needed between the tenant and the landlord in the application process. They each have required documents and information to enter into the program portal. Second, the tenant's rent will be paid only if the household's income or calendar year income is at or below the prescribed percentage of the area median income. Tenants may find out in the application process that now they don't qualify, meaning that the landlord goes unpaid. Third, only up to 12 months of rental arrear payments for rents accrued on or after March 13th, 2020 can be paid. And then there's an additional 3 months of rental assistance that can be paid if the household is expected to spend 30% or more of their gross monthly income to pay for rent. This is problematic, considering that many landlords are owed more than the 12 months or even more than the 15 months rent, and the number of months owed may continue to add up based on this measure today. Fourth, no late fees can be charged, which help to pay late fees owed by mom and pop landlords. The reality of these deficiencies is that mom and pop landlords won't be able to recoup their total losses, and that some, not all, rent scofflaws have absconded from rental premises without sharing necessary information needed for the ERAP application process, hence the lack of cooperation. And as far as money being put aside today for instances such as this, the ERAP portal does not give access to anything without tenant cooperation at this point in time. This lack of active cooperation as required under ERAP can prevent the processing of rightful claims by landlords to recoup any of their losses via ERAP. The result? Mom and pop small landlords are being denied the financial relief they deserve and were promised. As recently noted in Real Estate Weekly, only 4% of the state's $2.6 billion of federal rent relief funds have reached tenants and landlords. So billions in relief for mom and pop landlords are stuck in the muck and mire of Albany's bureaucratic bottleneck. Sadly, tenants thus far appear to be the only constituency that the majority has been really concerned about. And yes, I want to help tenants also. We all want to help people that are hurting. I know, and we know, that COVID-19 has caused countless hardships, to say nothing of devastating human toll. However, we are 1.5 years into this, with many, many individuals continuing to live rent-free. But it's not free for the mom and pop landlords, small businesses that haven't received a dime for 18 months. Mom and pop property owners provide a good deal of the nation's affordable housing and a lot of the housing here in New York. Malfunctioning measures like ERAP and Albany's seemingly indifference to the financial plight of mom and pop small landlords place that provision of affordable housing at risk. When we first took up the rent eviction moratorium, I spoke on this very floor asking, would landlords ever be paid back? Sadly, my concern proved prescient. Federal and state government has continually kicked that can far down the road while mom and pop landlords struggle to hang on. The promise of more months of rent-free living without money getting into the hands of these property owners is just too much to bear, because this bill doesn't fix any of the problems I spoke about and fails to help mom and pop landlords. I'll be voting in the negative.